Hello and welcome again to our autism journey. My name is Mila and I'm a mom of two wonderful kids. And this is our journey adapting to life on the spectrum and accommodating the special needs in our families so that our lives are as comfortable as possible for all of us, not just for my son, but everyone in the family. Today I'd like to talk about how it is to go on vacation or just a weekend getaway, and how you can also prepare if you have a trip coming out or an outing and you're already stressing out about it, what it implies for a family with someone with a diagnosis to go sometimes on these trips. It's a lot of work and a lot of convincing that takes place, because it's not just the vacation. Sometimes even leaving the house to go to anywhere, really, it's not just like in any other house that you just put on your jacket and your shoes and that's it. It really requires effort for someone on the spectrum to leave the safety of the home, and a lot of kids on the spectrum prefer the safety of the home. They prefer never to leave their house. And in our house, sometimes I have a rule that we have to go out at least once a day, and that's the rule, and we need to get it. We need to get out there. And some days are more difficult than others to get my son to leave the house. But yeah, in any case, this is even more. It's just how do you plan when you have to go on a vacation and leave the safety of the home, adapt to a new bed, a new pillow, new foods or textures, a new smell of the house, really all of the unknowns, a new routine, going places we've never been to before. It's really very demanding, and as adults it's our job to maybe put on the different classes and think about what it implies for them, and we should listen to their needs and adjust our expectations of what we think the vacation will be like and how it should turn out to be. So the first tip that I use myself is managing transitions. So it's the planning before the trip takes place. So we talk about the planned activity, at least when it's just going out to anywhere here around here, we just plan it one day ahead. But if it's a trip, we use a lot of visuals or just a verbal description of what the activity is and what we will be doing every day. We start at least 2 weeks early preparing. We show pictures of the place we're gonna stay. If it's a hotel, we go online and show the hotel, the bed, the bedroom, everything where we'll be staying. We also discuss form of transportation. So if we're gonna if we're gonna drive, if we're gonna fly, if we're gonna take a bus or a train. So we break it down to every step by step, and we do this repeatedly. We do it 2 weeks ahead, but also every other day we repeat this procedure. As I've mentioned before, my son has a PDA profile, which stands for pathological demand avoidance. So any new proposals that he experiences as a requirement that he has to do, then he will deny that request, because he feels like he's out of control and his anxiety will go up. So we know this, so we expect a no. We know that he won't be able to say yes at the beginning, but by exposing him repeatedly to the idea of going, then he gets used to it. So it's just really making him feel safe about the idea of going on vacation and making it as manageable as possible, with helping him to visualize what will take place. Normally this conversation leads to a lot of negotiating. He asks for a lot of perks in exchange for making the effort of going on vacation. So he might get like pocket money or like some online points of the favorite game that he plays, or even he loves Fanta, so he might get to drink Fanta with every meal while we're on vacation. So we make sure to include some perks for him because he really does make a huge effort to go on vacation with us. For us, the vacation is in itself a reward, but he needs a little extra to make his stay comfortable. Another strategy we use is that we tend to go to the same hotels or rent the same apartment and things like that. Recently we were in Hamburg and we've been going to the same hotel, always the same place. We eat at the same places when we go. That way he can recognize them and feel safe. But last time, because food is such an issue, we've decided that from now on we're gonna stay in a place with our own kitchen, and I'll go into that later. Staying at a place with a kitchen has many benefits. It's not just, it's managing also the evenings in a different way. We find that leaving the hotel again in the evening to go get something to eat is really stressful for the kids. They are really tired. Usually it ends up with no eating at all. So you can manage the time schedule better when you have the freedom to choose what time to eat and what to make for dinner, etc. So going into food. Food is, I've explained this many times, but he's a very selective eater, so we're very challenged in that department. So I make sure to travel with a lot of snacks and foods he can eat if we don't find anything that he accepts eating, basically. So we normally rely a lot on pizza, McDonald's, and bread and butter, but on our last trip, McDonald's is no longer an option for him. So we were left with just some pizza and bread and butter, and we had to cut the trip short because he wasn't really eating enough. So we had to come back home before the planned date of return. So on the next time we leave, I already have made notes to freeze some of his favorite foods and some of the ingredients that I can cook with. And put them in the luggage and bring them with me, and we're gonna go to a place with a kitchen. So thankfully I can cook the same things that I cook at home, but it's important that I bring my own ingredients because the slight change in like a brand, he already recognizes the difference in taste and texture, and so he won't eat it. So I really I need to plan that better this time around. The last tip has to do with planning the whole week or the amount of time that you're going to be gone ahead of time and going over the planned schedule. We used to do a lot more things on vacation, and now we learned that it's important not to overschedule ourselves. So we plan 2 or 3 activities with a day in between to recharge the battery. And this is because his batteries really gets low very quickly, so he can only tolerate like 1 activity a day, and he needs time to recharge and relax to be able to be ready for the next activity. So when I plan the week, I try to leave 1 day in between each planned activity, so one of us can stay with him in the hotel or the house we're staying, and then and just be in a sensory detox, so to speak. And this is important because he will otherwise not tolerate more activities, and then the whole vacation will be sort of ruined for everyone. So as long as we remember not to overschedule ourselves and allow these chunks of time where he can relax, then everyone can go ahead. And we split a lot, my husband and me. So one of us takes the relaxed time and the other one doesn't. So this was a quick overview. I hope that it's helpful in any way. If any of you are dreading going on vacation, I think it's doable, and it's important to incorporate some of these elements so that everyone has a relaxing time, and to maybe lower the expectations the adults have in terms of what the vacation should look like, and what maybe we remember other types of vacation that we used to have, but the important thing is to adjust those expectations and adjust the schedule to someone with other needs other than our own. So that's all for today. Thank you for joining, and see you next time.